my friends, leaders of the council, councillors, citizens of this great city of Dundee, my friends, what a great honor, really, to be invited to your historic meeting today. And I just had a quick taste of your great service and great discussion. Every great journey starts with a single step. 40 years ago, Dundee blazed the trail. It became the first city in the United Kingdom to twin with the Palestinian city, Nablus. And what a great city Nablus is, like Dundee. It did so in the face of fierce opposition that went all the way up to the UK government of the day. That initiative was successfully directed by local councillors and politicians, people of principles and values, as well as Palestinian residents there with you. I cannot mention all of them, I apologize, but I have to mention Labour MPs like Ernie Ross, who I had the honor of actually visiting his home just less than a couple of years ago, in 2019, just before the corona. And George Galloway and Yusuf Allan, the Palestinian who lived with you, among you, who dedicated his entire life to the trade unions here, and who was a tireless and dedicated fighter for his cause, for his people, for his Palestine. So this is a moment to recognize all these people and many more. It would not have happened at all without the dedication and the unwavering support of the Dundee trade union movement and its constituents unions, like the Fire Brigade Union, which has been instrumental, we must acknowledge, in bringing us all together, all through the decades. And let me mention Jim Malone, who personally drove one of the fire engines, and his support and the Fire Brigade support for justice in Palestine has been relentless. Thank you, Jim, and thank you for your union. And you all have been a true friends and inspiration. And of course, for the Dundee, Nablus and Twinship Association, we just had Marie, who have supported this motion today, who have really brought the relationship between Dundee and Nablus from a level to a higher and higher throughout the last 4 decades. And my friends, and I know from personal experience, the first visit I did out of London was actually to Scotland, to Dundee. I saw the deep rooted relations between Dundee and Nablus, between the people of Scotland and the people of Palestine, the wide-ranging relations, actually. It's a reflection of our strongest asset as Palestinians. The strongest asset we have is the people-to-people relationship, the community-to-community relationship that can only flourish, as it has been the case over the last 4 decades. And it was an honor to meet Lord Provost Ian Borthwick in Dundee, whom I had the great honor of discussing with many global issues. That all happened just before the global pandemic that blighted all our lives, unfortunately. And I had the opportunity to meet the ordinary people of Dundee, the solidarity groups, and I saw your venerable city and its absolute commitment to justice, not only in Palestine, but worldwide. So when you decide today in few minutes, know that you are voting for another great leap in the city's historical support for the Palestinian people. It's a great leap. You are about to do it yet again. Recognition of Palestine, recognition of the state of Palestine, of Palestinian statehood by you here today will again make history, as Dundee will become the first Scottish city to recognize the state of Palestine. The great city of Sheffield was the first in England just upon my arrival to the UK in 2019. Of course, recognition at local government level is symbolic. We realize that. But it is historic and brave, and would, I hope, send a clear message to the central government here in the UK that it is high time to end one of the world's longest lasting and most egregious injustices. And a reminder to the UK government that it is high time also to correct the historic injustice caused by the Britain's Balfour Declaration more than 100 years ago. As you know, my friends, we have reached a dangerous impasse in Palestine of late. We are faced with an intransigent and expansionist Israeli government that is leading the international community by the nose and playing fast and loose with international law. We are suffering from the inaction of the international community and the reluctance to impose our own laws, the international laws, on Israel. Why does Israel get a carte blanche? Well, partly it is because Palestinian rights have not been properly recognized. And that is the significance of today. This is exactly why you are about to make history. Since the Balfour Declaration of 1917, that saw the peak of colonial arrogance, I must say, colonial arrogance and denial of the very basic rights of the native indigenous people of Palestine. Today is historic. It's historic because it is the enormity of and the importance of the step, not only for Palestine and the Palestinian people, but more generally for the international order, for law, for everyone's human rights. Because, you know, as Martin Luther King says, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. And what you are about to do now is to strike a blow for justice. You can strike a blow for a just world, a world in which everyone is subject to law and no one is so powerful as to be exempted from that law. For far too long, my friends, the world has sat on its hands while Israel has been allowed to undermine Palestinian rights and to conspire against the very basic notion of equality for all. You don't. You're not sitting on your hands for 40 years, relentless, unwavering, rock solid. It has been a tide. All that disregard and inability has been a tide that has threatened to wash away efforts for a rules-based order to right the world wrongs and contain the strong, that they do not abuse their power. And that tide has been relentless. That tide against us has been relentless, but it has washed up against an immovable object. That object is us, we, the Palestinian people. We are, all of us, unyieldingly committed to securing freedom and justice and ending Israel's occupation and fulfilling Palestinian national and individual rights as called by the international law. We have remained steadfast, my friend. We will remain steadfast. The world has just witnessed, you have just witnessed, Palestinian heroism in occupied East Jerusalem only over the last few days. The national dignity that came with that mass movement, the resilience, the belief in our rights, and the readiness to sacrifice to end the injustice. We are not alone. You are with us. Your support means everything. We would not have been able to withstand without you. And it's not just here, it's everywhere, in the UK and worldwide, by grassroots movements, rights groups, unions, ordinary citizens. More than 70% of the world countries have recognized the state of Palestine. We are supported by the good people of Dundee, and that means a lot to us. Today, this city of discovery can strike out in yet new ways, forging a path ahead, because peace begins with justice, my friends, and justice in Palestine begins with the recognition of our sacred right, birthright of self-determination, the recognition of the state of Palestine. Today, you are taking that logical next step, my friends. It's a historic step in our long march to freedom. So for your bold initiative, for your vote, for your unwavering commitment to justice, for your solidarity and friendship with the people of Palestine, for your recognition of our rights and of the statehood. And on behalf of the Palestinian leadership and people, thank you. Thank you very much.